WEMFradio.com. Dave Crespo back at you. You've just heard 2 interviews by 2 people playing in the Rompetition, which is tonight. Now we're going to get into some interviews with some bands playing over at McGann's tonight. We got Jeff Michaels in studio. We got Scott Barkin in studio. What's up, guys?
How you doing, man?
Hey, man.
Thank you for coming down today.
Appreciate having us.
Our pleasure, yeah.
This is like literally the golden part of the afternoon here. You know, this is going to be the morning or when people are listening to this. But right now we're in the WEMF studios, and the sun kind of like starts to set right now, and it's on you, and like kind of, and we're about to have a moment.
Right on
Jeff
keyboard,
has never looked so beautiful to me.
It's quite gorgeous.
But I don't know, it's something that happens here on nice days at WEMF. Something that happens here all the time is we're supporting local music, and you guys are local musicians. I've known you, Jeff, for years now.
Yeah.
You were in a band called Even Elroy.
That's right. Well, we both were, actually.
Oh, really?
That's how we know each other, yeah.
Well, that's how I know you then.
Yep.
Scott.
Well, yeah, sort of. You've heard me, I guess.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of trying to keep the band going without him, is what happened.
Big mistake.
No, we did play under Even Elroy for a couple years when I moved back to from California to Boston in 2008, and got a couple new guys that you've seen us play a bunch of times, and then I kind of felt I had to change the name a little bit, so I lost the Even Elroy moniker and just been going Jeff Michaels since. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go back, though. How did you two meet each other in Even Elroy?
We met through Jerry Becker of Train, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Like actual Train? Like Drops of Jupiter?
The Grammy Award-winning Train, yeah.
Isn't that guy schizophrenic, the lead singer?
I can't comment.
Speak nothing on that. But our friend
I
is
actually
not
don't know. I don't know him at all. But our friend Jerry produced the first Even Elroy album.
Yeah, so we both knew him.
And he produced an album of mine, and I used to do some studio work for him in San Francisco. So we met, on a camping trip.
And this guy's from Boston?
He's from San Francisco. This is when we were both living in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're both from the East Coast originally, moved out to Cali, met, and we both moved back to the miserable East Coast.
And that's when Even Elroy started at that point in time.
in San Francisco.
That very moment.
Yeah.
Actually, it started a week later when Scott came in, and I said, we're looking for a guitar player. Would you be interested in auditioning? And his audition consisted of listening to our record on the way to the rehearsal studio, and then knowing all the songs better than we did. So I'm like, yeah, you get the gig if you want it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't usually like to unveil the Oz veil here, but you guys have already played the songs that you're about to hear.
Right.
And Scott, your fingers just go nuts.
Oh, thank you.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I just can't help myself, for better or worse.
So, why did you leave the band then, Scott?
Well, it wasn't really
a
a leaving of
leaving.
the band. I wound up moving away from San Francisco, and it just became logistically impossible, unfortunately.
Okay.
But we've continued to play together as often as possible.
Yeah.
All right, so that's why you said I've heard you before, because I've
Right.
never actually seen
You've never
you in
seen
the
me-
band.
exactly,
So you
yeah.
moved from San Francisco to Boston with the band
Yep.
name.
I kept the band
You
name.
kind of Axl Rosed it there.
I did, and I kept the record. The record we put out was No More Rainbows, and that Scott played all that and
Yeah.
wrote some of those. So, we kept it going. I kept it going as long as I could.
So
And,
from that point, you come to Boston, you do Even Elroy, then it becomes Jeff Michaels. I haven't seen you I've seen you, I've been following your newsletters, but what have been the highlights, if anything?
Yeah, well, it took a while. I'm going to say it took a good 3 to 4 years to regroup and find decent players and got all going. And then 2012, I finally culminated. We put out Lost in Boston was the record that I did. And we had a big CD release show, the Hard Rock, and that went really awesome. And then I started writing a whole new album from there, which I've just finished this spring, actually, so that's going to be coming out in the fall. So it's a good 2-year album cycle. So
Lost in Boston has a music video, correct?
it had 1 or 2, and I just did a new one for the new album. So I'm a big fan of making music videos. I think that's one of the most fun.
Do you make them
parts.
yourself?
I've made one. So I made one for Lost in Boston that won a Powtoon Award from a British company in the UK. All a little animated for a song called Ordinary Life, and it won a Valentine's contest. Thought that was kind of cool because I only spent $40 doing it.
Nice.
And then I did another couple, Lost in Boston, just going out and filming with my video camera and editing. And then this last one that's coming out for the new album, we actually flew out to Phoenix and did a legit company. So, but there's a few out there. So under my name right now, and I love it. Love making videos. It's fun.
And you have a new album coming out soon?
That's
You're
going to be
working
in
on it?
October. Yeah, it's wrapped. It's ready to go.
You both have new albums.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Yeah,
but
we'll-
yours is looking to be coming out in October.
Yep.
Is there a name for it or
I
any?
can't reveal the name yet.
Okay.
I know. I wish I could.
Jeff is he has a very strong fan base through his newsletter.
Yeah.
So I understand this.
Yeah, I would feel awful if they didn't find out before. Before
greater
someone else
Boston
was
area.
thinking.
You'd have to like go home and like program
Instantly
your,
tell 'em, yep.
It'd be like tomorrow on, EMF I'm gonna reveal some information and now it would be now.
Exactly.
Right.
I haven't even told the producer I worked with, my buddy Chris. So if I can't tell him, I can't reveal it.
That's like not telling your wife
I'll
something.
tell you in secret later.
No, so that's gonna hopefully come out in October. I just say
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah.
because you never know in music.
I know. I think it's scheduled though. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna go into a performance by you. I ruined it. I know I said that we were gonna be like really.
Our sneaky
No, no.
plan to pretend that this was tomorrow.
Yeah, but what is the song that?
So
we're
this
about to
is
hear?
actually a new song from the new album. It's called Tales of Regret, and it's a little tale about love gone wrong. And we reworked it for WEMF.
Nice. This is Tale of Regret.
Tales of Regret.
Tales, more
Yeah.
than one.
Oh yes.
Plural. Tales.
He has so many of these.
But this one's a
Tales.
good one, I have to say. I really like this song. And there'll be a video for it, everything coming out too.
So here is a live in-studio performance by Jeff Michaels, Tales of Regret, here on WEMF Radio.
I got home from the night shift, poured myself a drink. That's when I noticed her note by the sink. I picked up the paper, quite the story she wrote down. Started to wonder just how long I'd been out. Guess it was a looked around, but all that I could find, TV set, some shit she left behind. Tales of regret, they weren't mine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I laced up my hot tops, I took the dog out for a walk. Faithful companion, always there to cheer me up. We ran so fast, we went back in time, back to the day you said you were mine. My, how time does I looked around, but all you're gonna find, a baseball glove, some fuzzy dashboard dice, tales of regret, they weren't mine. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look around, and all you're gonna find, sad sunbeams streaming through the blind, fridge magnets, 6 years full of lies, tales of regret, they weren't mine. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
WEMF Radio, Dave Crespo back here with Jeff Michaels and Scott Barkin. So, do you get a lot of like barking jokes?
Oh yeah, barking up the
Oh,
wrong
yeah.
tree.
Damn.
My whole life I've been barking up the wrong tree.
And we're going barking crab tomorrow for lunch. Oh yeah, there's plenty of barking jokes.
You guys are playing at McGann's this coming, or right now, tonight.
Tonight,
June 20th.
Yep.
It's Nicole D'Amico and Friends is playing on the bill, Ghost Hammers, and then you two, Scott Barkin, Jeff
Yeah.
Michaels. We just heard a tune, Tales of Regret by Jeff Michaels, accompanied by, here's Scott Barkin.
Yeah.
Man, like I was saying before, your guitar playing is fantastic.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
When did you start playing?
I've been playing since I was 10. So I'm loath to reveal how many years that is, but no.
Yeah.
So, going on 25 years. So
Nice.
it's been a long time. It's really been the only thing worthwhile I've done with my life. So.
Well, I mean, you're very good,
worthwhile.
so that's not pathetic at any
No need
means.
to
No,
knock
that's
it.
true.
Nope.
That's true. I don't mean to downplay it.
So you started playing when you were 10, and did you have any bands before? Eden
Yeah. Oh
Alroy?
man, I couldn't even begin to tell you all the bands that I've played in, but I started playing in bands right away. From when I was only playing for a couple months, I really started playing in my first bands, and then throughout high school just kept playing and playing, all different kinds of high school parties and stuff like that, and then joining other bands. And then I was got my first pro touring gig when I was 18 and went and toured the country for a couple months. And then at that point I really knew there was no looking back.
What was your favorite thing to do in music so far?
Oh man.
Play at WEMF.
Yeah, this ranks right up there. One of the craziest things that I have done is the last 2 years I've done a couple of European tours accompanying a singer from Alaska named Marion Call, and we got to play at CERN in Geneva, Switzerland. I don't know if
Okay.
you're familiar with
No,
CERN.
not at
It's
all.
like where where the Large Hadron Particle Collider
Oh,
is.
yeah, I do know where that
Where
is.
they discovered the Higgs boson.
Yeah.
So it
pretty
was just
cool.
a really wild, unique experience to go and play for all these, the top
Geeks.
world-renowned.
You're gonna say geeks.
No, I was going to say physicists, but they are. But sure, they are that as well, proudly, and just one of those things that you could never predict happening in your life. So it's playing music can take you to crazy places like that, and that was one of the most interesting ones. Definitely.
Did you get into any places that it was like, maybe I shouldn't be here right now? Not sketchy, but like Russia.
Well,
or
yeah,
Turkey or-
on that same tour, we went and played in Prague, and it was a situation where everywhere else in Europe, it's pretty easy to get by without speaking the language, but when you get into Eastern Europe, it becomes a lot more difficult. And we got off the plane, and we couldn't say a word to anyone, and all we had was an address, so we just had to go and trust this cab driver that we couldn't really communicate with. We just gave him this address.
That
We're
sounds like a horror movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, have you seen the movie Chernobyl or whatever?
I haven't, but I've heard about it.
Yeah, that's basically that
Right.
movie.
Yeah, and
So you're lucky.
So we got in the cab, and what was amazing was we didn't have a concept of where we were going. So he drove out of the city into the country, 30 minutes, and we're like, this cannot be right. There's no way we are not about to be killed right now, because we thought the gig was in the city.
Yeah.
Turns out it wound up being out in a suburb in this weird strip mall. It was this story could go on for days, but that was one of those moments where I was like, this could be the end. It was a wild ride.
And that's Russia?
That was Prague. No, Prague is
It's a
just
separate
Prague.
place.
Yeah.
See, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's crazy over there.
And you have a new album coming out as well.
Well, actually, I have just yesterday released a double live album that I did two separate tours over the winter. One a full band tour and one solo tour, and I got recordings of both of those, and so I just put out yesterday a digital release of one of a collection of songs with the full band, and one that's a collection of solo performances. And a lot of the same material is on both records, so you can hear these sort of different interpretations of the same music and see how pretty wildly different it can become in different contexts and stuff like that. And there's a lot of crazy guitar stuff on it, which I'm pretty psyched about, because my studio records have been pretty tame guitar wise. I've kind of purposefully held back on them, but in the live shows I always go pretty nuts. So I'm glad, I'm kind of glad to have.
Where'd you record these?
Just at 20 different venues throughout.
Okay, so just it's not just like one show.
No, it's
tonight we're gonna do it awesome, guys.
Right. Yeah, I wish. No, it took us till about the end of each tour to get the tunes sounding good enough to release. But yeah, so there was just the full band tour was all through the Southeast, and then the solo tour was all the West Coast. So, but it's a bunch of different venues on each record. Yeah.
So coming back from, Jeff, you came back. 2009 from San Francisco and had Even Elroy.
Yep.
Something like that. I'm
kind of
dating myself too.
I know. It's crazy.
And then, you guys are now. You must have come back a little after that.
Yeah.
How did you guys?
Right, because you went to LA for.
The places I've lived it's too long. It's quite a laundry list.
How did you guys get back in touch once?
Well,
Scott
we stayed in touch
Yeah,
the whole time, and it was one of those things. Whenever one of us was in the same town where the other one was, we would hang out at the very least. I tour around a lot, so I would wind up coming to town
We've
a couple times a year or whatever, so we'd always just hang
written
out.
a bunch of stuff together, written
that's
some
right,
country
yeah.
tunes that are going to be major hits eventually. We've done a lot of work.
I'm talking to Jeff Michaels and Scott Barkin. They're playing at McGann's tonight, June 20th. And we're just talking about how you guys seem to be like musical soulmates. I don't know, that might be a little, too aggressive of a term, but it seems like you guys affect each other musically, and that's really cool.
Yeah, it's rare to find. It's really hard to.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we've been playing together for, just about 10 years, so it's had a long time to kind of grow and learn each other's little quirks and.
Are there any plans for the future of playing? I know you guys are playing separately, Jeff Michaels, Scott Barkin, and accompanying each other, but are there any collaborative things?
Well, I mean, we always talk about, whenever, we're writing tunes, we'll send them back and forth to each other, and, we've done some co-writing since, and, I think that's always a possibility for us, especially, when I was coming up here to do these gigs, re-listening to the old records that we
really
made,
good
I was like, this is
yeah.
good stuff, and I definitely am excited to revisit this material and hopefully get some new material going.
I don't think we'll be resurrecting the Even Elroy brand, but I think a combined effort would be a really nice record, because it's rare to find someone that kind of latches onto your musical style so well that you don't have to think about it. So it's
like I said, you guys seem to affect each other.
Yeah,
it's not a bad thing.
I like it.
It's
That's
not a
good.
virus, or it's not a bad virus. We're gonna get into a live performance by Scott and by both of you, but it's one of your tunes.
This is a tune. This is the title track from my last studio record, which just only came out in the fall. It's called Flightless Bird.
This is a live in-studio performance by Scott Barkin, accompanied by Jeff Michaels of Flightless Bird?
Flightless Bird.
Here on WEMFradio.com.
Don't expect too much from me. I'm a flightless bird. I know what you're thinking. I know what you heard. But I don't got it where it counts. Live my life right here on the ground. Take me at my word. I'm a flightless bird. I'm a flightless bird. You're bound for the sky. I am bound to the earth. Oh, I know that I look the part. Don't got the courage, I don't got the heart. I am where the lines got blurred. I'm a flightless bird. Legs too short, legs too long. not built for this world. I'm a flightless bird. Yeah, I know my place. I'm a flightless bird. I shouldn't aim too high. I shouldn't try too hard. Oh, I know wings are meant to fly. Not for me. I don't ask why. And I shall not be cured. I'm a flightless bird. Wings too short, legs too long. My will is weak and my back ain't strong. I was not built for this world. But I know wings are meant to fly. 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 Wings too short, legs too long. My will is weak and my back ain't strong. I was not built for this world. No, I was not built for this world. No, I was not built for this world. I'm a flightless bird. Yes, I am where the lines got blurred. I'm a flightless bird. Flightless bird.